is where Cain somehow, I don't know whether the east of the garden or the east of the east of the garden was where Cain, no, the east of where Adam and Eve were, where was what Cain moved to. Every time they moved to the east. So Sherry is telling her that people were only drifting on that time to the east. And to the east of the world, as we know now, is more to do with the Arabian Peninsula areas. Not necessarily the west. So those areas are mainly what we call the east. So they moved to the east. And that's the east where the books are coming from. So the Bible is heading towards actually what the story is telling us to. Exactly where they were or where they are. That they moved to the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and they had asphalt and mortar, and languages of and all that, and the Lord, indeed, people who come, let us go down, and they confuse them. I think I'm getting it a bit confused here. As I said, I'm a human being here. Now it's nothing. This is 11 rather, with the confusion took place, not necessarily 5. Genesis 5:6. Genesis 5:6 talks about the coming of, the coming of a spirit intervening with the human life, and it also talks about the daughters of men becoming beautiful and all that, and flesh was intervened by the spirit, and God shortened the days, and the giants were there, and God came thoroughly to that. God came into the sons of God came to the daughters of men. Mighty men were born, and the wickedness of men grew so much, evil, and Lord was sorry for that, so He decided to destroy the race of man from the earth. Yeah, this is more like the 6. This is Genesis 6. And it was, at that time there was one language anyway. It could be more languages, but it hadn't suggest this. The suggestion I made earlier on is to correct that. It's not to do with Genesis 11. That's where Noah came. After Noah, that the new generation came. That's where one language came, and in that language, and God seeing Noah being a righteous person, out of Noah, evil has come again. But evil has come as a result of what people are speaking one language, and they are building a brick to sort of worship an idol. They made an image to worship, and God called whoever God called. It's not really said here, and said, let's go and confuse these people for what they are about to do, face of the earth. This is the genealogy of Shem. So like it was the sons or the generation of Lot and Noah, who has ended up in making all this confusion, this sort of unified approach to things. And they were building images of that kind to worship a god and all that. And a jealous God comes in and said, no way, you can do that. That's what happened. And the genealogy comes, it talks about the genealogy of the sons. And then it goes on to Haram, revealing the wives, the names of Abraham's wife, Meleka, and the daughter of Abraham. Like Abraham, out of this genealogy that Abraham came, because then Abraham and Nahor took wives, the name of Abraham's son, because Haran begot Lot, and Haran died before his father. So Terah in his native, this is from Genesis 11:28, from native land, from what Terah in his native land, in awe of the Chaldeans. 29. Then Abraham and Nahor took wives. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. and daughter of Haran. Abraham coming into play. So after the genealogy of Noah and his sons Shem and all that, and the confusion God brought upon them, and when they were building whatever, striking them, they sort of, there was another split from this generation. There's another split that came out of it, and that was Abraham Nahor from Haran, begotten from Haran, and somehow they have wives, so the wives have been revealed, and they came to Haran, and 205 years. There's something to do with so the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. That's the parents or the grandparents of Abraham and all that. They died. The age he lived for about 200 and something years. He died. So we move to 12, which says, "Now the Lord has said to Abraham, get out of your country and from your family and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. I will bless you, a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curse you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." This is what God has told Abraham. Abraham's kept it in the back of his mind, and he always will live by that. Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken to him, to go out of his family and find somewhere else and live his life. In that sense, he was a chosen person by God, the God who has created all the people that he has sought confusion on. And so God will now settle another place and call another person from another group, another tribe, and then he will say something else. So that's the situation we are having here. God was using Abraham to come up with whatever the Jews got as their way of worship from their descendant from Abraham, because the way Abraham was worshiping God, or the way Abraham took God to heart, is how they traditionally embrace the way to worship. The Quran challenges that, because they also come from Abraham, and they also say that that way is not being done or presented well by the Christian or the Jewish people, and their way is the right way from the last prophet Muhammad, who revealed to them things of Jesus Christ, things of Moses, things of all those things. Because wherever that was there that the Jews were using, obviously they have issue with. Maybe they might not have issue with, but Muhammad has received a revelation to sort of condemn that, or sort of disprove that one. So the idea of why these people don't blend can also come along this lane, that as long as you accept the Quran, you are saying that the book, whatever the prophets and the rest of the prophets, the message they have in the Jew book, the Jewish book, the Torah, and the Christian book, it's not necessary, it's not right. That's how it can also mean, And so forever it becomes a problem for them to accept Quran, whoever it came from. They don't accept Muhammad in so many ways, until these days that the followers of Muhammad have fought, destroyed, killed, and said, no. Some people have gone fanatically crazy. Some people have gone angry, and they have fought. They say they fought in jihad, war for God. They fought to make this book acceptable to society, to make themselves acceptable to society, so that they can have their own life, because they believe that this is from God. And I don't know why the Muslim had to fight and kill and do all that to be able to establish some faith or some group of entity of them, of survivor or some existence. Because Allah has got the ability to do these things without them. Unless Allah is a different kind of, God is not linked or compared to any other. But he is the one that created human beings. The Muslim believe that he created the whole universe. So just as I talk of the Christian and review those things, I see so many definitions of great inspirational words and powerful words sweet name being given to